How's it going, everyone? It's Aaron back at it with another Jeep Patriot video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to replace your spark plugs. Now I'm using the NGK V-Power copper spark plugs for this video. I believe NGK copper plugs are what are OEM that come from the factory in the Jeep Patriot, so I just went with the OEM factory spark plug. That's what was designed and what came from the factory with the Jeep. So it's always good to put OEM factory grade parts in your Jeep. So let's go over all the tools that you need, and yeah, let's get right into it. So here's all the tools that you really need to go with the job. So of course you're gonna need a 3/8 drive ratchet. So I got two here just because I got a spark plug gapping tool. I got a 3/8 drive torque wrench. I got a T30 Torx socket and a T30 Torx screwdriver for the coil packs that are over the spark plugs themselves. I got a 5/8 inch spark plug socket. It's a little rubber inside, and then I believe this is a 6-inch 3/8 drive extension. Just use a socket. And then you're also going to want to have a Jeep Patriot repair manual, just to look up any information if you get stuck, or the torque specifications. The torque specifications for spark plugs are actually 20 foot-pounds, so you torque them down to 20 foot-pounds. But yep, so, and you got the V-Power NGK copper spark plugs. So first thing we're going to get into is actually gapping the spark plugs, so let's get right into it. So another thing I thought I'd mention and show you guys is right in the section of the book, it says ignition systems, spark plug type and gap. So the type is NGK ZFR5F11. The gap is 0.043 inches, and as you guys can see, ZFR5F-11. These are the OEM plugs, as I said, and as you guys can see, torque specifications, spark plugs are 20 foot-pounds. It's foot-pounds unless it says inch-pounds, so it doesn't say, so it's 20 foot-pounds. And yeah, let's get right into gapping the plugs. So just to let you guys know that these actually are pre-gapped spark plugs. To find out if your spark plug is actually pre-gapped, you're gonna have this this little protective thing over the threads of the spark plug. But like I said, you want your spark plug to be gapped at the correct specification, because it can cause a misfire and everything. So like I said, again, I will give you guys the specifications of the gap. So the gapping is 0.043. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is you're going to take it out, and this is a coin style spark plug gapping tool. Now what you want to do, I bought this at AutoZone for like $1.99 or whatever. It was really cheap. What you want to do is there's as you guys can see, actually gets thicker over time. You know, it goes 0.20 inches all the way up to 1 inch gap, or not 1 inch gap, but you guys know what I mean. So what you're going to do is you're going to put the spark plug right here, and you just want to go all the way until it stops. And this is actually at 0.40, or yeah, 0.40, and actually that's a little bit less. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to use this part, and you're going to want to actually open it a little bit. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take the spark plug and put it in the little hole like that. You just want to pry it open just a little bit like that, and then you just want to try it out again. So let's put it back in, and that's a little bit better, like I said. So it's going to be making minor adjustments. Don't make anything too dramatic, because it actually can damage the spark plug, and the spark plug will be no good. So let's just keep going, try it again. And as you guys can see, it's like 0.44043. So this is actually a good spark plug now. And yeah, so that's just how you gap spark plugs. And say, let me grab another one. If say the gap is actually too big on a spark plug, what you're going to want to do is you're just going to take the back of the spark plug. This actually has millimeters on the back, but what you're going to do is you want to take a flat surface, and you just want to take the tip right there and just push down on it really hard. Like I said, it's just to close and open the gap. So close, you just put on a flat hard surface and just pry it down a little bit, and you make it a little bit larger. Like I said, you just stick it in there and you just pry it open. That's just how you gap the spark plugs. So I'm gonna gap the rest, and then we're gonna go over to the engine bay and start uninstalling the old plugs and installing the new plugs. So let me gap the rest and I'll be right over there. Okay, so now we're over at the engine bay of my Jeep. I got my spark plugs all gapped up. So the next step is you're gonna want to take off the engine cover. So it's just held in kind of by suction cup things. So pretty much you want to go to the front of the engine cover and you just want to just pull it up, and go to the back as well and just pull it up as well. As you guys can see, it's actually held up by these little suction things, you know. Each corner has them, and they're actually held on by these little standoffs. If I could zoom in on one of them. Yep, right there. There's a standoff right there. That's what they're actually standing off on. And yeah, so let's get right into the disassembly of the coil packs and getting to the spark plugs. Okay, so these four things are our coil packs, and below the coil packs are our spark plugs. So what you're going to do is just want to disconnect your coil pack wire, and you're going to want to take your ratchet or your ratchet with your T30 Torx extension, and you just want to not extension socket, and you're just going to want to just loosen it all the way until it is off, and it will just pull right out. So it's still on there a little bit. And you're going to do this one cylinder at a time, just so you don't lose anything. So I'm putting my screws right up here, and so what you're going to do is you just want to pull straight up on the coil pack. As you guys can see, here's the coil pack, and if you look down in this hole, this is where the spark plug is. So I'm going to remove all the coil packs and everything else, and then I'm going to start removing spark plugs. And just another quick tip for you guys, I feel like it's easier to break the bolt with a ratchet, and then use the screwdriver to just finish it up, because it's a lot faster with the screwdriver. As you guys can see, like that one's already out and everything. So it's just a lot easier if you break it with the ratchet. I broke all of them before I started recording this little clip, so I broke all of them with the ratchet. So it's just easier and faster to do. So yeah, so let's get into removing spark plugs. So like I said, you're just gonna want to remove the coil pack and the wiring to the coil pack. Then you want to take your 3/8 drive ratchet with the 6-inch extension and your 5/8 spark plug socket, and you just want to put it down into the cylinder until you feel a grab, and you're just want to. This is actually in here really tight, like I said. So you're just going to break that loose, and then you can get it out mostly with just the extension. Like this. And there's my old spark plug. And let me just remove it. From the let me just remove it. As you guys can see, it's pretty I think this is probably the factory plug, but it's pretty rusted and everything. This is definitely needs to be changed and everything. So yeah, I'll just keep going through all the cylinders, and yeah, I'll show you guys how to actually reinstall that spark plug, the newer one. So let's get right into that. So as you guys can see, I removed all the spark plugs and all the coil packs from the engine, And now we're going to get into the final step of reinstalling the new plugs and torquing them down to specifications. So let's get right into that. So what you want to do is you're going to want to grab your new spark plug and just stick it into the socket like that until you hear it click. You're going to want to drop it down into the cylinder, and you're just going to tighten it by hand. NGK actually doesn't want you to use anti-seize with their plugs, because you could over tighten them, over torque them, and everything. So you're just gonna want to tighten it until it's snug. Some spark plug bands you actually do want to use anti-seize, but you do not want to use them. So what you're going to want to do to install your new spark plugs, you're going to take the new spark plug and just put it in the socket like this until you hear a click. You want to drop it down in cylinders. I've already done the first 2 cylinders. You want to drop down in the cylinder and just tighten it all the way by hand until it's snug. Like this. Okay, it's snug there. Now you're going to want to take your torque wrench, put it to 20 foot-pounds, and you just want to tighten it until you hear the 2 clicks. Like that, and that's torqued down. And then now we're just going to do the last spark plug as well. And you're going to want to put this in the spark plug socket like how we did before. Wrong side. Like that. Put it down in the cylinder and tighten it by hand. Like that. And then you're going to want to take your torque wrench and you're going to want to tighten it. Like that. And that's torqued down to specifications. And yeah, so now what you're going to want to do is you're just going to take all of your coil packs, stick them down onto the spark plugs. And you're just going to reconnect all your wires. And then you're just going to want to reinstall all of your bolts. So let me go grab my screwdriver so I could screw down the coil packs. These don't have to be, these can just be hand tightened. These don't have specification in the service manual. Okay, and now you're all set. So that's how you replace spark plugs for the Jeep Patriot. Leave a like if you enjoyed, comment down below what you'd like to see next, and subscribe for more Jeep Patriot videos.